Ladies and gentlemen, we are down to our last presentation of the day. This is going to be the end of day one. And of course, thank you to all of those who are virtually connected to us. We're streaming live on Facebook pages of ACCA as well as the Nutshell Group. And also you can find all presentations, all speakers. If you've missed out on anything, you can go back and look at it at the YouTube channel by the Nutshell Group as well. Also, we've been trending throughout. There has been a lot of coverage, wide coverage on televisions as well. Our hashtag is hashtag leaders in ISB. ISB is for Islamabad. And now coming down to our last presentation. This is titled as, very intriguingly, Transforming Pakistan, the Silicon Valley Style. There are many success stories. We're all looking for the unicorn. We know for a fact that exports being, the IT exports being a vibrant sector of our exports of the country, just the tip of the iceberg, and at the same time, the startups have been very successful in securing seed money and some funding. But where do we go from here is the big question. So next up, our last speaker of the day, the CEO and the founder, Zain Jeewanjee Insurance Agency USA, and a member, Board of Advisor for RAND Corporations. Please welcome Mr. Jeewanjee.
Somebody about 2 years ago, I was in Lahore, and somebody at a conference that I was speaking asked me a question at the end of my talk. And they said, Zain, how can we make Lahore Silicon Valley? And I looked down and I thought a while, and then I got up and I said, listen, do you know who Tim Cook is? And on the room of about 60 people there, about 3 or 4 raised their hands. The rest were not aware who Tim Cook was. Now, can I go in this room and see a raise of hands of how many people know who Tim Cook is? Please be, seriously, is that it? So if you want to be Silicon Valley, let's get our general knowledge up there, right? And he's not the owner, as somebody there said, of Apple Computers. He's CEO of Apple Computers. So I told them, I said, one Sunday in the morning, he was going to Apple Computers. The security stopped him, checked his security, let him in. And then I asked the question. I said, can anybody tell me why on a Sunday was Tim Cook, whose cash value of Apple Computers was probably equivalent to Pakistan's budget, is coming in on a Sunday, the CEO of the company? And people couldn't answer. I said, because he had the presentation to do on Monday, and he wanted to make sure that he does it right. So he came in on Sunday to make sure he does it and practices on it. I said, how many of you do you get to your office at 10 o'clock in the morning, before 10 o'clock in the morning on a Monday? Would you come on a Sunday to work? So if you want to transform yourself and become the Silicon Valley, you'll have to act, behave, and live Silicon Valley. What does that mean? That means innovation. That means you innovate it all the time. Don't copy things. Don't say, Naeem did this, so maybe I should do this and make more money. Think of new things. And don't let anybody tell you it cannot be done. I'll give you a secret. And take this home. If you do something that nobody's ever done, you can't fail. You can only fail on things that somebody else has done it. So if you're not even able to do it, that's okay, you didn't fail. Just try it again. So innovation will change Pakistan. Innovation. The other thing is, don't look for success, but look for excellence. From other nations that have got it right, they don't look for success. So you get $100 million and you burn it, and the company closes and burns out. You don't want to do that. You want to look for excellence. Anything, कुछ भी आप करते हो, कुछ भी करते हो, कोई भी काम करते हो, so don't get it to the इख्तिताम, do it better, do it much more better than anybody in the world can do it. And the minister talked about export. Why not? Why sell to a 220 million out of 120 million population that is struggling to buy everything and will ask for discounts? You got the world. You got the whole world. It's a flat world. There's no reason you can't be Silicon Valley or better than Silicon Valley. I will tell you, in the last 40 years that I've been in Silicon Valley, I'll honestly tell you, our greatest success is also a detriment. It's one word, Jugaad. Jugaad is the word. We're so great, I can create anything at all. I've invented 7 products in the insurance world in Silicon Valley that were never done. In 1983, I went to the U.S. with a child who was sick. My son died. I was left with a huge amount of bills. I created the first company to insure people who come into the U.S. In 1985, I was probably 23 years old. And wait, everything can be done and bring it to excellence. We can do that. So I was saying that in the Silicon Valley, I've discovered in the 40 years, I've never found people smarter than Pakistanis. The Scouts honor. Honestly, Pakistanis कोई भी जुगाड़ निकाल सकते हैं. But the problem is, there's another side to the जुगाड़. It's called shortcut. वो भी जुगाड़ होता है. If you want to make this thing, I want to make this chair, I'll take a shortcut and make a half-ass job chair. If you want to be Silicon Valley, you can. Make the chair so much better that everybody comes to you. And you know, thank God for the dollar from 160 is going down to 200. Thank God for that. Because now your products are cheaper to the world. Philippines, India can't even compete. India's at 64, poor guys. You got an opportunity. Silicon Valley. So, again, look for excellence, not just success. Everything you do. You know, I've got a 7-year-old grandson, and about 2 years ago, when he was about 5 years old, I would start this line and he would complete it. And this is the line. Once a job begun, leave it not till it's done. No matter how big or small, you do it well or don't do it at all. Once a job begun, leave it not till it's done. No matter how big or small, you do it well or don't do it at all. We've got to do it. We've got to do it. And no nation is poised for greatness like this. And this time, it will come again, but it won't come in your lifetime. The opportunity that Pakistan is sitting on right now will disappear. And then I'll be going like this. यार वो ज़माना था मैं भी कर सकता था लेकिन मैंने नहीं किया. You don't want to do that. You do not want to do that. You got to innovation, excellence. You know, the other thing that I think we're so good at is ownership. We are, again, we can do phenomenal stuff with it, and it's also a detriment. Ownership. That means Saudi, who's jiggling away here, takes the ownership of doing the MC. Sidra, is it? Sidra is her name, right? Your name is Sidra? Your name is Sidra? Sidra takes the ownership of doing the MC work. Right? Do you own it? Or do you own it? Most of us, own it. We own when you own the problem, you take it on to you. When you own it, what you give it off, you delegate everything. Same thing, again, just like your car. Ownership. अबे मेरा है मैं कर लूँगा. Instead of saying, ये मेरा काम है, मैं करूँगा इसको. I will not depend on anybody else. I will make sure it brings to completion. That's excellence versus just doing an ordinary job. My latest venture, by the way, is my legacy I want to leave behind for Pakistan. Unfortunately, like all of you, I went away from this country. And I put in 14 hours a day, 21 hours a day for the first 3 years, 14 hours a day, and I still work 14 hours a day. I'm 67 years old. And trust me, I'm not working to pay my meals. I don't need to. And I regret. I should have done it for the country that gave me everything. So the legacy I want to leave behind is, my newest venture is to engage 100,000 Pakistani workers to work for me, solving my problems in the U.S. remote workers. COVID gave me the opportunity. We started a company, and we're going to train and hire 100,000 Pakistani workers. Now, that's a small dent in a 220 million population. But we can bring in probably $1 billion of exports or imports into Pakistan, revenue. Every one of you, everyone sitting here, if you think of innovation, every day when you walk the streets of Lahore, Islamabad, Karachi, Multan, Gujarat, anywhere, everywhere, everything you do, every time you just walk, there are problems, there are hurdles, there are obstacles. Find a solution and create a company around it. I'll fund it. I'll get you money to fund it. I'm an angel investor. I'll fund it. There's so many opportunities in this country. I was in Karachi 2 days ago, and the little bit of rain we had, a lot of rain, everything is disrupted. Sab toot gaya. Pura shehar toota puta pada hua hai. So much opportunity in this country. We can and we will become the Silicon Valley. And it's up to you. How many in this room are under the age of 40? Raise your hands. You all, you have a responsibility. The ownership is in you. Because I believe that the Jagar people were me, my generation. Not you. The under 40, you're the most exciting people for this country. And the under 20, even better. Because you won't take any of this shit anymore. You won't take this Jogar stuff, and you'll do it better. And I know you will. I am looking for 100,000 people, and I'll get them. But if any of you have an idea, go out. There's so much money. The people coming on the stage telling you, I'm a VC, I'm this, I'm from China, I want to put money. Gentlemen, you're sitting here, right, wants to give you money. Everybody wants to give money. Why? They don't want to give you charitable checks. They want to double, quadruple their money. And this is the best opportunity right now. Pakistan. If you look at all the things you do in your life, and you look back, there are a few things that people do work for. And one of the lines I want you to make a little note of it and write it down and put it in your head. Chase the finish line, not the cup. Chase the finish line and not the cup. What does that mean? That means you don't do it to get the reward at the end. So when you get the funding, it's like an IMF loan. It doesn't mean you just got money in the bank. It means you've got a burden in your bank and you've got to pay it back now. That means you've got to perform. The goal should be that you pay it off before it's even due. So you can be free. Because when you're free, you can fly. When you're tied up, you can't. And the more you tangle yourself, the more crippled you get. You're just disabled. You can't do anything. So you want to be free. Self-fund it. Bootstrap it. Sell your house and build a company. Right? So when I'm saying chase the finish line and not the cup, so let's say we decide that this microphone is not, and by the way, it's not comfortable, right? This is going around my ears. This is going tangled here. So I should come up with something which is better, possibly not even sits in my ear, somebody that floats like a drone with me wherever I go. There you go. That's an idea. A drone that goes right round wherever I walk. As soon as I stop, the microphone follows me. It's not sitting in my ears. It's not bothering me. I want to open up the company. The passion should be, I'm going to create it, yeah? Somebody runs, somebody jogs, the microphone follows him. What an idea. Instead of the other way to think about it is, I'm going to make $1 billion. Somebody will buy it. Oh, Client Perkins will put in $200 million. I'm chasing the cup. Whereas if I say, I'm going to make a freedom where the mic will run, I'm chasing the finish line. You want to chase the finish line. Now, I'll tell you why. Because when you chase the finish line, It doesn't matter when you get there or you don't get there. But if you chase the cup and if you come second, you lost. You didn't win. There's no, and what will you do next? Even if you get first. Now you got to do something better. Whereas if you did the finish line, then you go and say, "Ab main ye karunga." Talk about how you treat your people, Silicon Valley. My company, I've got 9 companies that I run that I'm getting out of so that I can focus all on my new company, The Servants, which is the name of the new company is. They'll engage 100,000 people in Pakistan to work remotely. When I decided to do this, and my time is coming over, by the way, so I'll end it. One of the things we did is we went for, in July 1st, we had a 4-day week. Treat your people right. The state mentality has got to be washed out. If innovation comes in, treat your employees right. I'm so grateful to everybody that listened to all my BS. Thank you very much. And go do it. And I'm on 30 seconds short. Thank you, guys.